As you recall in earlier training videos, we learned about the sum, count, and average functions. Well, here it's got a twist to it. In other words, we're not just going to automatically add up, count, or average a range of cells unless a condition or criteria has been met. So hence you got the suffix of if. So it would be sum if this condition is met, count if this condition is met, or average if. You can also have a plural version of it if it has to meet more than one condition or criteria. So it could be sum ifs, count ifs, and average ifs. So for my example here, I've got my database where I have the essential oils, the category, if it's a blend, yes or no, the price of it, how much is in stock, and the size of it in milliliters. And you can see when I scroll down, I don't have that much there. So the first exercise is to go ahead and add up the total oils in stock that are blends. So here's the stock, and here whether or not it's a blend. So which function are we going to use? Is it the sum, the count, or the average? Well, the key word is add. So let's do sum. Now we're not just going to add up the total in stock because that would just be the sum function. So we're going to use the sum if. So just add up the oils that are in stock if it's a blend. Yes, 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 and yes. So let's go ahead and come up here, click in the adjacent cell to the left-hand side of the exercise and hit equals and do sum, and there it is, arrow down, if, and you can see in the pop-up adds the cells specified by a given condition or criteria. So with it selected, go ahead and hit the tab key to pop open the function so we can see the syntax, and it says, okay, where's the range that we want to go ahead and look at, and then for that range, the criteria. So the range is going to be blends, right? Go ahead and click and drag to select it. And then the criteria that it has to meet for that range, to get over to the next part of the syntax, that argument, hit the comma on the keyboard, and it goes to criteria, is going to be open quotes, yes, close quotes, because we're looking for those essential oils that are blends, right? Go ahead and hit the comma so we can go to the sum range and say, okay, if it equals yes, then come over here to the exact same range, and as a cross-reference, if it's yes, then it's going to pick that cell, and if it's yes here, pick that cell and add up only those cells that have the blend yes. So click and drag to select it, and then go ahead and hit enter, and the total is 31. So let's go ahead and verify. So we're counting up what's in stock, right? But only those essential oils that are blends. So there's a yes. Holding down the control key, I'm going to select the next yes. There's 3. Then we come down here. Yes is 8. And then yes is 8 here. And then the sum of the selected cells down the status bar says it's 31. So hey, it checks out. Cool. Let's go ahead and do the next one here. And you'll see a pattern. As long as you know what you want as far as adding up or counting up or averaging a range of cells, and the keywords are right there for adding, counting, and average, then it's just a matter of, okay, what's the condition or criteria? Now, this one, again, is just the singular sum if. It's not plural because we just had one condition that needed to be met, whether it was a blend or not, before it went ahead and added up everything that was in stock for the blends. So this next exercise is going to count up the total number of oils that are calming, non-blends, and a price less than $50. So we've got how many conditions? 1, 2, 3. So instead of the singular count if, we need the plural count ifs. So we can keep adding as many conditions as we want, which, well, by the way, it's only 3 here. So let's go ahead and hit equals, count, and it's all the way down, so I'm going to arrow down. You can see in the pop-up, counts up the number of cells specified by a given set of conditions or criteria. With it selected, hit the tab key to pop open the function, and it says, okay, go ahead and select the first criteria range, and then what's the criteria for that range? So we're going to look at it, and it says it's calming. So let's see. We're looking over here in the category. So that's the criteria range. Go ahead and click and drag to select it. And then to get to the next argument in the syntax, go ahead and hit comma. Now that's in bold. Now it says, okay, what's the criteria for that range? Well, we're going to go ahead and do open quotes, and we're going to type in calming. And then comma, okay, so what's the next criteria? Well, it has to be a non-blend. So let's go ahead and select the range for blends, and then to go to the criteria for that range, comma, now that's in bold, and it's going to be open quotes, and it's going to be no, a non-blend. Okay, and then we got the last one, a price less than $50, so let's go ahead and do comma, and we're looking at the price here, so there's the criteria range, click and drag to select it, comma, and then it's got to be less than 50, so let's do open quotes, the less than symbol, type in 50, close quotes, and hit enter, and we only have one that meets all those conditions. Do you want to check it out and verify? Okay, first of all, calming. how many do we have? We've got these three right here, right? I don't see any others, so that was easy. And then of the three, how many are non-blends? Well, we've got two right here, so it limits it down of the three columning to these two right here. And then how many of these two are less than 50? It's just that one right there. Sweet. Okay, let's come back up here and do the final exercise, which is to find the average cost of oils which are antibacterial. Now, if it's just one condition, I can just go ahead and use the average if, but I've got 1, non-blends is 2, and 10 milliliters or less, so that's 3 conditions. So since I'm beyond 1, I'm going to go ahead and have to use the plural average ifs. So equals average, and arrow down to ifs, finds the average arithmetic mean for the cells specified by a given set of conditions or criteria. With it selected, hit the tab key on the keyboard to pop it open, and it says, okay, what is the average range that we're looking at? We want to average the cost of essential oils, so this is the cost here, and that's going to be our average range. Click and drag to select it, and then go ahead and hit the comma on the keyboard to say, okay, we're going to average this range, but it's going to be dependent upon the criteria, and so the criteria is that it's got to be antibacterial. So let's go ahead and select that range, and then hit comma, and then the criteria for that range is going to be open quotes, antibacterial, and then comma. Okay, the next one is a non-blend, so let's go ahead and select that range, and then do comma, open quotes, it has to be no, a non-blend, and then comma, and we got to do 10 milliliters or less. So let's go ahead and, I'm not sure I'm selecting the top one there. There we go. And hover over the lower right hand corner and bring that down. So they all ought to be from row 8. There's 8, 8, 8, and 8. So for the range here, let's do comma, and then let's do open quotes. It has to be less than 10 milliliters. Close quotes, hit enter. And so the average price for every essential oil that is antibacterial, so we've got 1, 2 here, 3, I'm using the control key, that is a non-blend, so this is the only one that's non-blend, and it's 10 milliliters or less, so the average of $28 is $28, right? So we've got 1 divided by 28 gives us the same as the price, and there you go. Now, like I said, if you wanted to, you can go ahead, for the sake of following up, you could use the plural SUMIFs for a single criteria that has to be met, and you can see up here in the formula bar, it's a SUMIF. So if I go ahead and hit equals sum, and go down to ifs, hit the tab key to pop it open, and then it says, okay, what's the sum range? Add up all the oils in stock that are blends. So we want to go ahead and add up what's in stock, comma, but the criteria range means that it has to be a blend. So select it, comma, and then define the criteria, which is open quotes, yes, close quotes, and then hit enter, and we still get 31. You see, with the SUMIFs, let me double click, in the syntax here, you can go from just the first set of conditions to a second set, but you can stop at the first set, so it doesn't matter if you use the singular SUMIF or the plural SUMIFs if it's one condition. It's up to you. Let's go ahead and hit the escape key to pop back out of that. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.